Jordan, congratulations. You're back from Paris.
Yes.
And you came home with some goods. You got a bronze medal, gold medal. Has it all sunk in yet?
No, it has not sunk in whatsoever. I think I'm still on a high just from us getting a gold for team. You know, I've just been trying to cherish every moment that I've had since, and it's been a whirlwind, I can definitely tell you that. But I did get to kind of celebrate going to Disney in Paris, so that was really fun, and it was pretty cool.
What would you say has been your biggest pinch me moment in these past 3 weeks?
Definitely my pinch me moment would be getting my floor bronze medal. It's still crazy that I am a bronze medalist in my first ever team, like my first ever event final. That was the first time I ever made an event final in the Olympics. So I was like, this is crazy. This is beyond. It's still like, I'm like, me just carrying my medals around, I'm like, there's no way that I have two, and one's for an event, an individual event. So I'm really happy.
I mean, there's literally no better prize than an Olympic medal.
Yes.
What was going through your head in that moment when, you know, you heard you won the bronze?
There were so many emotions. Obviously, if you look at the pictures, I'm crying, boo-hooing, the most ugliest cry I've ever seen myself do. But I think just in that moment, it felt right. It felt right, like, wow, I actually did something, you know, because with what had happened, it could go either way. It could go up, it could go down, it could stay the same. So I was just happy, and my coaches, and I'm pretty sure even Simone said, like, she was more happy for me than for herself, which is crazy to say, but I definitely, like, felt every emotion that was happening within just, like, us being there.
I mean, you truly have the best support system in the sisterhood of your Golden Girls and your coach, everyone cheering you on, rooting for you, having your back. What does it mean to see that your coach stood up for you on Instagram?
It was, you know, I think of Cecile as another mom. She's done so much for me just within my gymnastics and within my confidence for myself. When I first moved to Texas, I was like, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know anything like that. So having her by my side, sticking up for me, I think it's really cool because you never know with what social media just, like, sucks in general. Like, I don't like it. I call everybody a bully bot. Like, there's no point of having social media in my eyes, but I appreciate what she did, and, you know, I can't thank her enough because, you know, with times like that, it does get hard mentally, physically, like, emotionally for a lot of people. So I do thank her for that.
Well, social media is really tough for everyone to navigate, but especially, you know, being in the spotlight.
Yeah.
But you make some really fun TikToks. I mean, you are killing it on the TikTok game. Tell me about the mantra, I'm that girl, and how much you're loving it that your fans are really catching on with it.
You know, I'm that girl. I always say this. I'm not trying to be cocky or anything. It's just an affirmation that I feel like really relates to me. I got it from Beyonce's album. The song is literally called I'm That Girl. It's very self-explanatory if you listen to the song. So I feel like it's just something that when life gets really hard, tough, like whatever it is, and you're just going through, you also have to understand you can conquer each and everything that's thrown at you, whether it's like, some people say coconuts. Sometimes I say watermelons because they can be really, really hard. You just have to understand you are that girl because you are succeeding in a way that maybe not a lot of people can. So it's really cool to understand that people are understanding where I'm coming from instead of taking it and just running with it. So I really appreciate that, and I hope it will forever be something that a little girl can just put on a sticky note and put on her mirror and be like, you know what, I am that girl.
I love that. That's the motto.
Yes.
We love it. The Golden Girls obviously dominated in Paris. What made this group of 5 of you so special, and how will you stay close, you know, post-Olympics?
With the group of girls, obviously, yes, it's really cool to say that we're the Golden Girls because we are, except for one, we are older and we've all gone through a lot within ourselves. So this was more, you know, the redemption tour kind of started off very, very strong. You know, we went into qualifications really good, team finals, each and every one of us, you know, with the individual route. So I think with us being as mature as we are, we all had things within ourselves that we had to fix in order to become together as this big bond of girls going out and competing. And I think having conversations within the, you know, our apartment in the village or just within somebody else and you needed to talk to them was like the biggest thing for us. That's how we did create this huge bond. You know me, I always like to stay connected with anybody, whether it's through social media, whether it's just saying a hi to somebody on, you know, a text message. Obviously, me and Simone have been around each other for a very long time, so there's no doubt that you won't see us together, you know, on social media or even with whatever happens in life. So I hope we all stay connected. We all have our different routes, different ways of, life right now. So we'll see what happens. But I do give greatest, biggest hugs to each and every one of them. So, because I couldn't be more proud. They did their thing.
Oh, totally. Y'all need a girls' trip, honestly. Like, no gymnastics, laying on the beach, just like relaxing and, taking it all in, soaking it all in, all that you've accomplished.
Yes, I actually do have a girls' trip coming up. That's funny that you say that with my friends back in Texas. So that's funny that you say we all need girls' trip. But yeah, it's going to be fun.
That's awesome. Who was sort of the ringleader, in the village between you girls planning the fun activities?
We all kind of came together to figure things out, whether it was like, oh, do you want to go eat in the dining hall or do you want to go to the grab and go? I think it was more so of what you needed or what you felt was comfortable, because a lot of the time me and Simone were just in the apartment like, oh, I'm going to take a nap. Like, I'm going to sit and watch TV or watch a movie, or I'll just be on FaceTime. So it just depended, like, really on what everybody's mood was, because a lot of them, they did go on walks, or they would go to the grocery store that was on the village. We went to the Olympic store that was in the village. That was really fun, too, as a team. It was great.
Cool. What were the Golden Girls pre-event rituals?
So I don't have any rituals.
You're not like superstitious.
I'm not superstitious at all. I can put 800 different hair ties in my hair. I do not care. Different clips, I don't care.
I wish I was more like you.
Yeah, I don't have any of those things. I think for Suni, I did say was her braids have to be a certain way, and if they're not, because I was doing her braids, if they're not, she will tell me to redo it. So I think that's Suni's superstition. I don't think she has one. Simone, I don't think she has one. I don't know. I've never asked her. Jade, I don't know. Hesley, I don't know either. But for me, I don't have any superstitions. I think the biggest thing, if I want to say it's a superstition, but it's not really, is I just pray with my family before I go out and compete. I've done that ever since I was little. But I did have one when I was younger. I thought the P.F. Chang's lettuce wraps were like the it thing before I had to compete, or like salmon. Like, it was weird.
Delicious.
Yeah, it was like my dinner. I felt like my dinner had to be a certain way, because I won after I had
the lettuce wraps.
One time, I guess, and I was like, has to happen. I don't know.
That's really funny. Yeah. I don't even know if P.F. Chang's exist in Paris, but
I don't know that either. I don't think so.
You have mentioned your friendship with Simone Biles, which runs very deep. You two have such a sweet sisterhood.
Yes.
Tell us how her gesture to have you come train at her gym was such a turning point in your career. Like, what was going through your mind during those times? How did this really turn things around for you?
Well, moving to Texas, I think, was the biggest thing that I never thought I was going to have to do in my life, because I was like, I'm not moving anywhere. I'm staying in Washington before I go to school and da-da-da. No, I guess God was like, no, you're going to go, you're going to leave, and you're going to continue this, dream of yours. So moving to Texas, I don't regret anything. I loved every bit of it. I still love being out in Texas, training with my teammates. I think the biggest thing was having just those encouraging words from Simone before I did move, saying, girl, this is your dream. If you want to fulfill it, go out there. Nobody can change that. It's what you want to do within your life. So I really appreciate that she was right there by my side every step of the way. At first, when I moved to Texas, I'm going to be completely honest, I did not know what I was doing there. I didn't, because I was the only elite athlete back in Washington, so having other elite athletes in the gym, I was like, this is weird. I don't know how to act. I don't know what to do. But then once I got comfortable, it was like, we have a sister bond over there, and I wouldn't change the world for it, because all those girls are amazing and talented.
Once you were there, how did she sort of take you under her wing and help you get your confidence back?
I think she could kind of see it. I, would go over to her house. We would have conversations. I would have tough days. Because, changing a whole different environment when you came from one thing, it's really hard to, put yourself in a position of being that one person and not knowing, oh, what are these people going to think, right? So I think the biggest thing was just her being like, okay, I'm going to show you some ways. I'm going to show you how everything's going to turn out, and we're just going to let it ride out. So I think I just let her guide me in a good way, because a lot of the things that I've done or you guys have seen have been from her. And I think I really appreciate that, because whether it's within life or in my sport, I know who I want to be.
Mm-hmm. How did your relationship grow together in Paris?
It grew really close. I think it's it got closer as the days were going on because we were always, next to each other, or, we're teammates, so we are always in the gym together. But outside, like in the apartment, she'll come in my room and be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm watching a movie." She'd be like, "Okay," and then she'd walk out, and then she'd come back 5 minutes later. "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm still watching my movie."
Yeah, give us the behind the scenes of what was really happening.
But yeah, we would, she'd be like, "Okay, I want to go to the grab and go." I'm like, "Okay, I'll go with you." She's like, "Okay, good." And then she'd be like, "Are you ready?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Well, it was really fun having her there. Just seeing her accomplish everything that she's done just makes me feel like, okay, if she can do it, I can do it. So I'm happy that I have somebody like her in my life.
You're both so lucky to have each other. There's no doubt about that. And you two bowed down to Rebeca during the medal ceremony. Mm-hmm. Why was that the perfect way to give Rebeca her flowers?
Well, there's a thing in life that, people always say, we only train 2 weeks or 3 weeks to become an Olympian, but in reality, we've trained our whole life to become this amazing, talented, gifted person that, we want to express to everybody. So in that moment, it was my idea, actually. I was like, looked at Simone, I was like, "Should we bow down?" She was like, "What?" I said, "Should we bow down?" And she was like, "Yeah, I think we should." Because, as much as Rebeca has given us our flowers for the U.S., and she's done so many great things within her country, within herself, this girl has, I don't even know how many medals at this race. She's world champ. She's done a lot within, her lifetime of being an athlete, and despite all of her injuries that she's had previous, I think this kind of showed she's accomplished and she felt good. Her raising her hands, I felt each and every emotion that was going through her brain then. So it was needed just to give her flowers. And I'm a girl's girl, so I'm going to give you your crown when it's needed, ma'am. There you go, needed, and you deserve it. So she deserved that moment.
I love that. We have to talk about the mascot of the Olympics, Snoop Dogg.
Yes, Snoop,
because
Uncle Snoop.
Oh, you call him Uncle Snoop?
Yeah. It's Uncle Snoop, yep.
Does he know that?
I don't know. I didn't call him that, but I just feel like he's the uncle to a lot of people. With having him in 21 commentate everything with Kevin Hart, I think it gave him a different perspective on sports and, that platform for him. So having him there actually in person and going to all these different events, whether it's equestrian, whether it was gymnastics, whether it was basketball, whether it was fencing, this dude was doing everything. So he's also done things within his life that people have just, wow, Snoop Dogg is Snoop Dogg, and you won't ever forget Snoop Dogg. So I felt like, that's like your uncle. You won't ever forget your uncle. You're never going to forget what your uncle did for you, So
it's safe to say he's an honorary member of the Chiles family now.
Oh, yeah, 100%. This is Snoop Dogg Chiles.
I mean, he was sitting with your family in the crowd. What was your reaction to seeing that?
So I didn't know Snoop was sitting next to my mom until Simone was like, "Snoop Dogg's up there," and I was like, "Oh, that's so cool." And she was like, "Wait, he's sitting next to your parents," and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And so then that's that video you guys have probably seen everywhere, where I'm dancing and he's dancing and all that stuff. So it was really cool. My mom had said that he was actually asking questions about how gymnastics works and was really invested into it. So I really appreciate people who actually are trying to learn instead of trying to be like, "Oh yeah, I know this, that, and the other." And it's no, let's take it a step back here and actually figure things out. And so that's what my mom was telling me, and I was like, "Oh, that's really cool."
They bonded.
Yeah.
Did they exchange numbers?
I don't know. I should ask her though.
I know you're still soaking it all in.
Yes.
I mean, to have gone to Paris and medaled and represented Team USA
yes.
is huge. Are you even thinking about Los Angeles?
It's not a no, but it's not a yes. I think, right now just soaking every moment that I can in right now, and just with the medals that I've gotten, I'm just still in awe again. I have no words, but I can tell you.
You know where you're going to put them?
No, I don't. I don't know where I'm going to put them. They're with me, though. They're with me everywhere I walk. I was going through security, and they were like, "Oh, my gosh." And I was like, "Yeah, no, don't touch those. Do not.
Those will go off in the metal detector."
Yes, I'm like, please, they're just my medals. And then, but yeah, I have a big, humongous, shadow box with all my accomplishments that my mom created in our house. So maybe they'll go in there, and we'll see from there. But I also am going back to UCLA, so they will be traveling.
That's so much fun.
Yeah, they will be traveling with me everywhere I go. So
how did you come to that decision?
I've decided with how life goes, I feel like with college it gives you a different perspective of that type of life. Like since I was 7, I've been in, the spotlight, the elite area, the international of being in gymnastics. So college is a different perspective. And I learned a lot from my first 2 years of just myself and, the maturity aspect of things. And time management definitely taught me a lot. So I just wanted to, represent those 4 letters again with UCLA and see where it takes. Because I feel like there's some things that are missing within my college career that I can accomplish.
Okay, well, you got 2 years to make it happen.
Yes.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank
I've been
you.
to that campus. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, I love campus. I miss it all the time.
Yeah.
I be looking at, like, all my friends. They're like, oh, I'm doing that. I'm like, man, I miss campus. I miss the girls out there, so.
Do people stop you all the time on campus?
Yes, and sometimes they'll stop me on a scooter. I have my bird or something on campus, and they're like, oh my gosh, is that Jordan Chiles? And I'm just like, I can't really stop. I'm going really, really fast. Like, I'm sorry.
You're a celeb.
Everyone. Which the crazy part is I don't think so.
Really?
I don't think I'm famous. I don't consider myself famous. I feel like I still have more to do within my life to actually feel like I can say, okay, yes, I am a top celebrity, or yes, I've been in that famous era.
How do you top winning a gold medal?
Community. I feel like I have a lot more to give within the community. Yes, a medal can, bring a lot to you, but when you've dedicated your whole life to one thing and you don't get to see the perspective of what, especially my siblings, they had to sacrifice a lot, and being able just to give back in a way and kind of show them a different route, a different path for what their journey should look like is something that I feel like, okay, then I've done something.
Well, you're making an impact. I can truly say that.
Thank you.
Already, so I hope you feel that.